And the shots becoming greater in velocity, goalies, the loners of the team, began to claim some justice for themselves. Although Clint Benedict of Ottawa and Charlie Rayner of the Rangers had worn masks to protect injuries, it was Jacques Plante whose amazing skills were balanced by a need for self-preservation. And as men like Bernie Boom Boom Geoffrion began to blaze away a new threat on the enemy net and the netminder, Jacques came up with a mask that wouldn't alter his skill. Although some netminders complained that there was too much heat underneath these creations, gradually the men who were famous for their faces began to take cover with the covering themselves. Over the span of 10 years, Plante worked with developers in improving the masks so that with practically every new season, there was better, more sophisticated, more practical protection. The other members of a team have always laughingly condemned the goalies as head cases, but it is virtually a head casing that they had to help form themselves. Quick-drying plaster oozed into a form that matched the face. The solution covered everywhere, even over the nose, so that breathing during the setting process had to be done through straws that were inserted in the mouth. As Bobby Hull and his sidekicks blazed their best into the 70s, the goalies waited in traditional white-faced fare. But there was change coming, not in the mask's shape or function, but in its character. As it turned out, Jerry Cheevers was one of the first. Each year, the trainer would add stitch marks to the mask where he might have been cut by shots. Soon, others added bursts of color. These men, whose public lives might have now been covered by a shell, found new ways in which to burst forth with personality. These hybrids of the carpenter shop and the operating room carried splashes of team color or patriotism. And in some cases, there was the ultimate in simplicity, just a team logo. One of the ironies of the game is through these Halloween-like creations, a goalie who will admit to being frightened by some of the best shooters is unable to even slightly startle an opponent with these phantoms of plaster and plastic. Eyes that peered and flinched from behind these creations have been made even more safe than before, but it is still hard to forget the day when the only thing between the puck and the net was raw bone and flesh. Today, differences in style and personality continue. Though many are brightly painted and some goalies have shifted to the new cage-style masks, others remain simple. Occasionally an emblem is painted on, or a team nickname. And if a goalie such as Chico Resch changes teams, he need not forsake his face's best friend. All he needs to do is get an artist and a brush. The game has traveled many miles since the Plante pre-protection days, and though today's hard shots may glance off the mask, most times the goalie rises to assume the toughest job on ice once again, even on days when it's tiring. This is Mike Emrick.